Hi everybody, how are you? It's the Rich Aunt. Happy New Year. Happy 2013. I hope 2012 was a good year for you. If it wasn't, I hope this year is a better year. And I know it's going to be a great year for me. 2012 was a year for transformation. Definitely feel like I'm going through some sort of metamorphosis, I suppose. But I definitely feel like this year the butterfly is about to emerge and take flight, and I'm just excited. So it reminds me of a painting that I actually did where there's like all these butterflies on her, coming off of her, and it was called She's Ready for Her Wings. And that's how I feel right now. So yes, yay. And hopefully you feel that way too. Now, I'm doing this video because I have some workshops coming up. There will be painting workshops for beginners, intermediates, advanced, whatever. There'll be different things on acrylics, layering backgrounds, doing urban abstract backgrounds, bringing forth images that you see in those backgrounds to, make an actual painting out of. This the subject, the main focal subject matter, the different faces. Well, I typically do one face, but still I'll show you how to do faces. How to work with acrylics, how to work and get them to look almost as good as oils, if not better. How to work with acrylic and oil, and how to do oils. I will also kind of play around with showing you how to do other different mediums as well, and different mediums to work on. My favorite right now is wood. That's just what I'm in love with right now. But I still do paper. I still do canvas. I will paint on anything I can get my hands on, really. So those are different workshops I'll be doing. But the first workshop is just something that I wanted to do to help people. Because so many people ask me all the time, hey, how do you do what you do? How did you get out there? How do I get started? And they might not necessarily be visual artists that are asking me these questions. Some of them are jewelry makers. Some of them are bakers. Some of them are photographers. Some of them are people who just write. It's a lot of different people who just want to know, how do I get started? You seem to have a pretty good grasp on it. I didn't always. I asked this question at one point in my life as well. I used to ask other artists, hey, how do you do this? How did you get started? What do I do? How did you get to where you are? How can I get there? And there are even still now artists who I see where I want to be, And so it's always a learning process. It's just that I want to be able to give you a nugget of how I got where I am and the journey that I took there, the things that I learned, what not to do, what to do, how things worked, what worked for me, and just put that all together in a workshop and then give that information to you at a really reasonable cost. The class is $20, right? $20 for that nugget. I mean, this is a big gold nugget here. But the only reason why I say $20 and not this crazy astronomical price that some people charge for their little nuggets is because really you're still doing all the work. You're still going to have to get in there and grind. I'm not just handing you, here's your operating up and running business. So I'm just giving you tips and tricks on how to get started. So $20 just to pick my brain, basically. And so basically what I'll be showing you is how to build your business on and offline. There's a lot more to the online aspect as far as the technical side, but I think that I can help you get through that. And if you still feel like, oh, this is way too challenging, then you can pay me to do it for also a reasonable price. And then if you want something even more in depth, there's a professional web designer that I can put you in contact with who is still affordable but more expensive than what I would do as far as helping you build a template. Now, first thing we're going to definitely talk about is the website. We're going to help you make a decision on whether you want to go with something free for now, just a basic template that they probably have all their logos and advertising all over, but you still have your work as the main focal point. You know, a lot of those programs that are free do have it where you can pay for it to be ad free. If you kind of feeling like weird about a website, I can show you how to do something that is free where they're not advertising all over the site. That's kind of like a website, but not. It'll be more like a home page, and then those tabs will take you to different places. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to do something cheap, something free, still fancy and cute, but also if you want to go a little deeper with it, a little more advanced, they have plans where you could pay for the whole year in advance and it'd be really cheap, or then you can get different packages where you could pay monthly, quarterly, or 6 months. And of course, those discounts may not be as cheap as the overall once a year discount, but they're still affordable. And then they still have monthly rates that are affordable if you don't have a lump sum of money to come up with up front. A website is basically a static spot. So I'll be talking to you and teaching you how to use see, with the website, it's like a galaxy full of stars. There's a billion of them, and they're the same way with websites. There's a www dot whatever out there everywhere. And so you're thinking like, how do I get my little star to shine? How do I get people to notice my star? Well, that's where your free social networking sites come in at. You're going to have your different things like Facebook, Twitter, blogs, all your different picture sharing sites. Then from there, when people start seeing your product and you're putting it out there, they're gonna need a place to go to buy it if they're interested in it, And sometimes you're not gonna be right there at the computer or right there with your cell phone to answer questions. So they might be able to go to just click on a link to a actual store and get the information that they need and perhaps even buy. So I will show you how to set up eCommerce, which is what an online store is. And you can either do it through third parties like Etsy, or you can do something where you can utilize PayPal and invoicing and email and all that stuff. And you can deal with your contact or client or potential buyer directly through that. I will show you how to showcase your product, because some people take horrible photos with terrible lighting and it's this weird, cloudy, cut off cell phone pic. And cell phone pics can be really nice, really, because I have one and it takes great pictures, so it's an art to it, but yes. And so we're going to teach you how to showcase your product really nicely. You have the whole gamut, especially if you have something like jewelry or scarves or, vintage, whatever. You have the whole gamut as far as how you can showcase it. With art or photographs, it's pretty much the basic. Make sure it's photographed well in a good lighted area, and make sure that when you edit it, you're not taking it too far out of the actual context of what it actually really does look like in person. So I'll be showing you how to do all of that, how to put it all together, package it really nice, and then critique you if I need to show you where you kind of can improve or tweak something. That's the online side of it. The offline side of it, which is the more face-to-face, not necessarily brick and mortar, but just some different unique ways to showcase your work. You'll be able to do that as well. And because the beautiful thing about being a small business person starting out, and you're personal and you're the operation of the whole thing, you're totally different from the big box commercial stores. You go on a Target, you pick up the things you want, some things you need, some things you don't need. You go to your register. You may have someone who's filling customer service that day. And I'm not talking bad about Target. I'm just using that as an example, And the person may say, "Did you find everything you need?" Or they may not. I don't know. But they're gonna bring you up, bag your stuff, and you're gonna leave. And you'll come back next week and so forth and so on. But your buying experience was nothing to set that store apart from any other store, other than they just got cool stuff. Whereas with the small business, you'll be able to present that buying experience with a more personal touch. And I'll just show you different ways you could do that as a merchant, and show you how you can get that consumer to really appreciate and the experience overall, tell people about it, and even come back themselves and get other people to come. So that's the great thing and the luxury about being a small business. And those are the different things that you will know and learn offline and online how to do, as far as, you know, because, you know, the best way and the cheapest form of advertising, and still the oldest way and the best way, is word of mouth. You know, even if you do all the other things, word of mouth is still going to be the greatest form of advertising you have. Once you get that first person, that you get that one time to make that great impression, and you do everything special and to a T that you can do as a small business person, and they get that in that package. Say, for example, I like it when I buy from a local or small business, handmade something. One is unique. That's the first and foremost thing, is unique. It's a special product that I know no one else has. And then 2, 9 times out of 10, in my experience, when I'm buying handmade from some small business, it is packaged so pretty and special and nice. And then they even write a little note. They give you all kinds of cute little information about them and their family and their dog and their cat. You know, this is cool. You know, for some people that might not be a big deal. They just want the product. But most people, that little stuff is like, wow, that was a nice little touch. You know, and it's just more than just a box that comes and it's brown and you open it up, it's a rack of peanuts, and then you pull out your little product. No, it's a nice touch. And that stuff makes a difference. So we're showing you, I'm going to be showing you all those different things in this workshop on how to do that. And your workshop will be something you can work at your own pace, because it'll be a webinar where you could download all the information and work at your own pace. You'll be able to email me, and I will respond to any questions. And then there'll be Tuesday nights where I will actually have streaming live from right here, but it'll be live, and then you can answer questions and everything right there. You know, maybe I can even help you troubleshoot with some stuff right then and there. So I'm going to figure out whether that's going to be a Uvu or JTV. I'm not sure yet, but I will promise you that it's definitely going to be live on Tuesdays. And most likely the time will be 7 o'clock. Now, I will be eventually making this class available face-to-face for some people, you know, for people who are local. But I still recommend that even the locals take this online class and download the classes and work at your own pace. Because I know some of y'all are ready to get started now. You're excited. You're really excited and you're ready to go ahead and get started. It's a new year. You've been wanting to do this. You've had this hobby forever, or this passion or whatever. Or maybe you quit your job, or maybe you terminated from your job. I don't know, but you're just ready. So I would definitely recommend you doing it this way. Plus, you can still, like I said, work at your own pace this way. Whereas if the class is hands-on, you will kind of be on a time frame, because I'll be renting space, and then other people will be coming in, they're waiting for another class or whatever, so forth and so on. So, I cover everything. Well, yeah, so I'm going to just go into detail about everything that I talked about. Good depth, and I'll be available to you for everything we talked about. The registration starts today. You will be able to go to therichant.com. When we get off, when you finish this video, you just log on to therichant.com, and you click on the store tab, and you click on the tab that says how to build your business and register. All you have to do is click buy, and the class is $20. That's it. $20. No shipping. You know, the materials you supply and the work you do. I'm just giving you what I know. You will pretty much need pen and paper for taking notes. You will need your laptop. You will need a camera. And you need to take pictures, you know. If you have websites and all that stuff now, you'll definitely be able to direct me to those places where I can kind of tell you, okay, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, whatever. So, yeah. Go ahead. Go register right now. The class is ready right now. Registration starts now and ends, today's the 7th. Registration ends on the 15th. Class starts from the 20th. So enjoy, and I look forward to working with you guys. And this will be great because there'll definitely be more. You know, like I said, there'll be tutorials on painting for those of you who are interested in that. But this is just for the umbrella of everyone who wants to do something. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.